Tim Loughton, and I'm here at Shoreham Academy, the outstanding rated school in Shoreham that has become a victim of its own success this year. Again, there were many more pupils who wanted to get into Shoreham Academy than there are places. Now, I just want to talk about schools. We've been talking a lot about schools recently because of the funding pressures. I'm glad to say that the government has produced some additional money, £1.3 billion, and we're yet to hear exactly how that money is going to be carved up amongst our local schools, but certainly our schools are going to be getting more money than they were looking to be going to get some months ago, before many of us started campaigning to get a fair funding formula for local schools. We still need more, but it's better than it might have been. But what I want to talk about briefly now is actually the number of school places, because as I say, Shoreham Academy was oversubscribed this year, and we all know we've got a lot of additional developments happening in this area, whether we like it or not. That's bringing more families, more children, more pressure on school places. So I've had a meeting recently with a group of parents who've been doing a lot of number crunching about whether we are going to have enough school places, particularly secondary school places, over the next few years to cope with the local population. And I'm now going to sit down with a group of parents, with heads, with officials from the West Sussex Education Authority, with local councillors, and also with some local developers who've got some good knowledge about the number of people likely to be coming in to the area over the next few years. We're going to do some number crunching to work out exactly the level of places that we need over coming years, and then to see what can be done to make sure we've got the schools in the area to provide those places. Of course, remember with Adur, people from Shoreham traditionally will go to school at Davidson's, at St Andrews, to Sir Robert Woodard, Stenning Grammar School in the area. But this year we had, again, a particular problem with Stenning Grammar School, where many parents have put it down as their second choice if they couldn't get into Shoreham Academy. But Stenning Grammar School have now opened a new satellite site for the reception classes over in Storrington, some 10 miles away. So that's proved all sorts of practical problems. So we need to get a handle on this. So I'm going to work with those parents, with local councils and the heads, just to try and assess exactly the level of need. The second thing I'm going to do, and I'll be announcing the details of the date shortly, is to have a big public meeting, an information exercise for all local parents in the Adur area whose kids are going on to secondary school next year, because I think we need to get as much information out there as possible. If you apply to Shoreham Academy, be aware that it's a very popular school. You may not get your first choice. That if you're going to apply to Stenning Grammar School, it may be a longer journey. If you're going to apply to Sir Robert Woodard Academy, there are some spare places there, but they're filling up fast. And then, of course, are the additional schools in Worthing. We've got the Bohunt School, a new school which is growing. And I just think we need a proper information exercise so parents can come along and find out exactly what the options are for the whole area. And I don't think that's been done as well in the past as it could have been. So the third thing I'm going to do is put out a survey on my Facebook page and other social media, because I'd like local parents to respond to me, and I can pass that information on to the council and discuss it with local councillors as to what their expectation of local schools actually is, which school would be their first preference for their child going up to secondary school. Your views on some of the primary schools as well, because we're getting a new primary school in the Shoreham area at St Clement's. Its site is yet to be identified. It will be a satellite school of St Nick's and St Mary's, again a very popular and oversubscribed school. I just think we've got to do better in making sure there's as much information out there as possible for parents to make the right choice for their children. And my job is to put pressure on the local council and the local schools to make sure we've got the right number of places in the right place available, so that there is real choice for pupils coming up to secondary school in this area and for primary school as well. So please help me by filling in this information. You'll find it shortly on my Facebook page, and then I hope together we can make sure that we have as many people as possible going to outstanding schools like Shoreham Academy. We have many other good schools in this area. We're really blessed with good schools, so let's make sure that we've got enough places to cater for as many of the local population as we can in the future. So thanks for listening. This is something I'm taking a really close interest in. I think it's one of the most important and pressing issues we have at the moment. We need better, fairer, more funding for our schools, and we need to make sure we've got sufficient places in our great schools to cater for all the local population. Thanks for listening. Please give me your views.